Andy Dalton did not get to take a snap, though, after a 7-minute drive from Atlanta. And now Bryce Young looking for a game-winning drive in the division, a team that he's beaten 3 times in his 11 wins career. He gets it away under pressure from Ellis. Dowdle down the sideline. Rico Dowdle on the gas pedal and in.
Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Unbelievable.
He tight-roped down the sideline. Looked like he might have clipped the edge. He stays inbounds, and Carolina takes the lead.
And what a play call by Dave Canales.
For those of you just joining us, Rico Dowdle has sprinted down the left side here in Atlanta for what looks like a game-changing touchdown. The question is, did he keep his left foot inbounds on one step down the fringe here? Watch as he comes down the sideline.
Right there. If he stepped out, that would have been the moment, and it looks close.
Oh, that is really close.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. Going to take a look at the play to see if the runner stepped out of bounds.
Now, the step initially looks clean, but as he swipes the foot to come back up into the next step, does he end up out of bounds? Dean, what do you see? The call is touchdown.
These are so close. I do think part of that foot actually slides out of bounds. Now, what the league has, they have boundary line cameras. So they have a camera looking right down the line. That would be the best look. Certainly appears that that foot is out. It has to be clear and obvious. This is one of those decisions I'm glad I'm not in the command center having to make right now.
Yeah, Dean, you and us,
Dean,
all three of us.
Then? We're putting you on the spot.
If it's me making the decision, I think it's out. Again, that boundary line camera is going to be key.
I think to your point, Jason, when he goes to push off with the next step, it looks like if there was any moment, that's where it crosses the line.
If at any point he steps on that sideline, he's out of bounds.
What a play call.
Yes.
You know, they invited Caden Ellis upfield. Jalen Walker's rushing as well. There's no one for Rico Dowdle. And there's all that space to roam and run.
You hear the crowd reaction. They're seeing close-up views. There's a whole
optimism.
Yeah, there's a whole like theater in the round video board up above here if you haven't been here. So there are like 4 replays of it simultaneously that they're watching with the zoom in that you're seeing at home.
After review, the runner stepped out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
It'll be first and goal at the 10-yard line.
It looks like that's the right call, Brady, right?
And still plenty of time for the Panthers here.
You have an opportunity to bleed the Falcons dry of timeouts. I mean, scoring is paramount. Scoring is paramount.
I am not one of those analysts who will sit here and tell you that you need to bleed the clock at this moment. Maybe if you had the ball on the 1-yard line, that's something else you'd think about. But you go score. You go take the lead if you can take the lead. What about this day for Bryce Young, by the way?
A career-high 382 in the air.
Battling through an ankle injury almost the entire game.
Oh, they have McMillan and Natron Brooks up top. That's the matchup. Does Bryce Young want to do it? That looked like the safety help that could come over the top. First and goal. It's a give, and it's Dowdle who is stacked up immediately.
Did Atlanta call a timeout before the play?
The officials.
Right after.
Wow.
30 seconds.
No, it is. It's after the play.
It's
after the play, yeah. So the play stands. It's second and goal.
Please set the game clock to 1:19, 1:19.
Yeah, the way the officials administered it, though, they were in so quickly on the Ororo hit. So Bryce Young, 382 early to McMillan for a touchdown. He gets knocked around and still fights back.
Just an incredible performance. He's been efficient through the air, but is also in a comeback fashion because Bijan Robinson has had himself quite the day. Young, though, connected with Xavier Legette earlier in Here's the hit on Penix that ultimately knocked him out of the game. Cousins has come in and supplied a field goal to help build the 24-19 lead.
2nd and goal, Carolina. Young, a lot of time. Scanning, firing, end zone, incomplete. It was for Dowdle. Coverage for Caden Ellis. 3rd down and goal, Carolina. What's at stake here for the Panthers is to be competitive in the NFC South. They could pick up a game on Tampa Bay, Brady, it looks like.
As Dowdle's subbed out, Chuba Hubbard comes in at running back. They're scanning for matchups. Teteroa McMillan down here in the slot. Appears to be zone coverage. That'd be where I'd go.
Young, light rush for Atlanta. Bryce Young steps and throws. He's got it to McMillan. Touchdown, Carolina.
He had him twice. He had him for the 1st down, and as he scrambled, McMillan releases upfield. He keeps his eyes on him for the touchdown. Watch as he works outside. There's your 1st down. Nope. Turns it up as Young scrambles. And this is just, to me, you can't put your linebacker in that position. You just can't.
Caden Ellis was over the top of him at the snap. Terrell was in the area, but Terrell's been chasing him all day long. They go away from it there. It's a 2-point conversion try for Carolina now. They're trying to make it a 3-point game with a $1:08 to go. Young lobbing it. End zone. That's Coker for 2. Carolina by 3.
They find him in man-to-man. That's the man-to-man beater. And again, you mentioned it. Terrell that time matched up on McMillan. Why they didn't the prior play, I have no idea. That's been what they've done almost the entire second half. They've limited McMillan until that touchdown play.
It was the last 2 plays of the drive, Brady, that he wasn't shadowing McMillan. And for Teteroa McMillan, he's got 4 NFL touchdowns. 2 against the Cowboys in a huge win for Carolina. 2 against Atlanta here today.
Bryce Young just seems to have his Atlanta Falcons numbers. And he has played well in this stadium, dating back to his time in college.
And now it's up to Kirk Cousins, likely, the 14-year veteran for Atlanta.
And wise timeout by Raheem Morris to be able to save a little additional time for a comeback. Remember, they used that timeout so quickly right after the 1st down play in the last drive.
Fitzgerald to kick it away. From the 5, it is Agnew. On the return, he's got a crease. Agnew across the 40-yard line to the 45. So Carolina had great field position off the touchback. Atlanta even better on a tremendous return for Agnew.
You're going to see a seam right down the middle of the field. Agnew does as well. Not for a couple arm tackles to slow him up. He might have hit that and been out the gate.
Please set the game clock to 1-0-1.
Shaw Smith-Wade, who eventually made the stop on a 40-yard return. So a minute 1 for Kirk Cousins.
Zane Gonzalez, the field goal kicker. His career long's 57 yards.
He's hit from 52 this afternoon. Cousins steps up, fires near side. He's got the 1st down across the 45. It is David Sills for Atlanta. It's a gain of 11.
Good job by Sills, too, getting up. He initially slipped out of the cut. Just able to get up to make the play.
His 17th career catch. Just about 1 for every year Kirk Cousins has played in the NFL coming into this afternoon. Cousins Robinson, catch and run. Nice ball placement for the catch and run from Cousins inside the 35. First down, Atlanta.
Let's call this a Texas route or an angle route. You clear everything out underneath, allow your running back to work one-on-one versus the linebacker. Easy pitch and catch for Kirk Cousins.
Well, they're certainly in field goal range. Cousins feeling the pressure there. Might have had his arm hit. It's second down. 30 seconds to go in the fourth. Atlanta trailing by 3 with 2 timeouts. And there is Zane Gonzalez, who just joined up. This is his first game with Atlanta in the continental United States. He kicked for him in Berlin last week. And now the game, or at least overtime, might be riding with him.
With 2 timeouts. Plenty of time to run the football, too. Bijan Robinson, again, has been limited the second half. Got a light box, still a lot of yards there.
Cousins down the middle. It's London who gets decked by Thornton. Atlanta timeout. Clock stops at 26.
30 seconds.
So you're in field goal range here. For a play call on third down, what's paramount, Brady?
Well, the first thing is here, if you're in field goal range, you could take a shot. Now, that's assuming that Carolina gives you the look that you're looking for, and that's going to be a one-on-one opportunity. Now, again, with your backup quarterback in there and Kirk Cousins, I'm not necessarily sure that's the way you'd play this. Probably a bit more conservative. Put yourself in a position that then make Zane Gonzalez feel comfortable where he's kicking the ball from. You'd like to be on a hash. Kickers like to be on those marked yard markers that allows them to be able to work to angles too. It makes them feel more confident and comfortable.
We'll see third down and 4 first. Algier and Robinson both in for Cousins. Kirk Cousins lobbing it far side, a little too much, incomplete. Mike Jackson on the coverage of London, and it will be Zane Gonzalez to try to tie the game.
So there's your shot, though. That's the matchup. Your number 1 wide receiver working against Mike Jackson. A little bit more air on the football. We can bring that one down, but that's the knockout punch you're looking for, trying to avoid going into overtime, instead trying to end it now. But instead it rests on the shoulders for the leg of Zane Gonzalez.
A former Carolina Panther who missed only 2 field goals 4 years ago in a Panther uniform. This will be from 45 for the tie. Atlanta has lost 4 straight. Trying to find a way to break that. Zane Gonzalez, his second game for the Falcons this year. It is on the way. It's leaking, and it is good! Oh, that was losing oil on the way home, but we are tied.
Good snap, good hold. The prior field goal, too, just snuck in that left upright. Whew. This one even closer.
I mean, tell you what, Shaw Smith-Wade was not far away from blocking that thing either. I mean, how about the revolving door at kicker for Atlanta, right? Younghoe Koo misses week 1, a 44-yarder. They move on from him. Romo shows up. He's here for the balance of the year. Misses there. Zane Gonzalez shows up, joins him in Berlin. And now he has tied the game. Carolina has 1 timeout, 16 seconds. It feels like overtime is in our future. But again, remember Atlanta last week struggled to cover kicks late in the game to allow Indianapolis back into that game.
Kickers are able to at least take opportunities or chances now from 60 plus. It seems like every week.
Yep. Fitzgerald's long is 57. This return for Hubbard. Looking for a crease, and that closes very quickly. 11 seconds to play with for Carolina. Federo Hodge with the stop. 11 seconds.
So you've got time essentially for 2 plays. And with the timeout, you're going to take a shot, I would assume, somewhere on the sidelines, middle of the field. But if you're Atlanta, you got to guard the sidelines. You don't want to give them a freebie. It looks like they'd rather just take this thing into overtime.
Bryce Young will try to build on a career high 394 yards, 3 touchdowns. Falcon fans are learning that 60 minutes just isn't enough. For better or for worse.
Hey, free football, man. This is great.
This division, it just gets wild. I mean, Tampa Bay has already lost today. Here are the overtime rules for you. The coin toss to determine possession. Both teams get the chance to have the ball. We've seen a couple of ties this year. Dallas and Green Bay. It came down to the very last moment there, and all replays are initiated from the booth. So we'll see what Carolina has in store, but you figure, I mean, Atlanta's playing without their starting quarterback. Michael Penix Jr. is out. He doesn't look like he's coming back into this game.
We're going to play a regular season overtime game. New this year, you're both going to get a possession with the football unless there's a defensive score on the first possession, or whoever gets the ball keeps it for 10 minutes. Okay? We're going to play fourth quarter timing rules. You both have 2 timeouts, and a reminder that all challenges still come from the booth. There's no coach's challenges. Same coin, heads and tails. It's your call. Heads is the call. It is heads. You want to kick this way. All right. You're going to receive down here to start the overtime period. All right. Thank you.
So Atlanta's going to have it.
The toss, and we'll kick.
Kirk Cousins, year number 14 in the league. Away he goes after this. Michael Penix Jr. out with an injury for the balance of the second half. Kirk Cousins, who was drafted all the way back in 2012, a year before the Panthers' last and second overall sweep of Atlanta in the regular season. The veteran quarterback will see the ball first in overtime. But he does have an opportunity. You know, it's kind of an emergency mode. Last time they had the ball, you don't get to see Bijan Robinson as much. He's got 100 yards. He's got a couple of touchdowns. You figure he's going to be a big part of this.
You'd have to think that. I mean, if you look at the second half, Carolina put up 17 points. The Falcons only 6, and really on a short field in the last drive after the return. And so you got to get Bijan Robinson back involved in this game.
Fitzgerald's kick sails through the end zone. Brooks let it roll. So Atlanta will have the ball first here in overtime. 10 minutes, only one 10-minute period. We've seen a handful of ties in the history of this league. Remember Green Bay and Dallas earlier this year. Kirk Cousins, 43,000 yards. Game number 167 of his career. Just trying to salvage a season for a team. He's thrown for 450 plus for 3 separate franchises in his career. He's lived this life before, and he'll go from the 20. It is a stretch play. It is Robinson. He thought about carving it outside and then just took the 4 yards right into Sherrillis and Merrick, second down.
And the difference so far with Cousins, since he's come into the game, ball's getting out of his hand really quick. Exploiting a lot of the underneath routes versus the zone coverage that Carolina has presented him.
Cousins on a screen. Got it to Robinson. He hits the hole hard to the outside. He's got a first down, but a marker down at the 25.
Yeah, you worry if someone's too far downfield anytime you see a flag come out that quick after a screen.
Raheem Morris and Dave Canales awaiting word from Clay Martin.
Player downfield and a forward pass. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Good call, Brady. It's the center, Newsel.
Let's take another look. Right here in the middle, Newsel. A little play action fake involved. This is a longer developing screen. It's why you just got to hold your water if you're an offensive lineman. Typically, they've got to count. And in practice, you'll hear them literally count out loud. But in games, they try to pause and wait as long as they can to release downfield.
Cousins throwing this side pitch, put it on the ground. Kyle Pitts was running before he caught it. It is third down. There was some green in front of him. It was tantalizing. Didn't have the ball.
And that is one you have to have if you're Kyle Pitts. We talked about it again, too, the difference of a right-handed quarterback, left-handed quarterback. A different spin, balls coming at them from a different side of the body. Sometimes that little difference that makes a difference in a catch and a drop.
Shirless up at the line. He'll back off. Cousins to throw. He gets it away, and that is near the ground, and Hodge could not reel it in. It's incomplete. It was close. Hodge could not pull it in. It is fourth down. Jackson on the coverage right there with him.
Well, the protection was there. The route was there. The ball's just low. Daryl Hodge does a good job getting back inside downhill to it. Needed a little bit more time probably to work the route, but it's going to be a tough catch regardless.
Yeah, he did everything he could to try to rescue that. That looked like it was going to be well short, out of hand from Cousins. ETN, the rookie out of Georgia, to return it. Pinion had a great one last time in the fourth, down to the 7. This one goes bouncing inside the 30. 52-yard punt, and Bryce Young looking for that signature moment again against Atlanta. Looking for his first 400-yard game of his NFL career as well. He's 30 for 44. Tataroa McMillan has 8 of those catches for 2 touchdowns, and you figure A.J. Terrell is going to follow.
Team to score any points will win the ball game.
So now field goal does it for Carolina, as you heard Clay Martin announce. Remember, Tampa Bay has lost, so Carolina could close within a half game in the NFC South. All it takes is 3. Young hands it to Dowdle, who has collapsed after a yard. David Onyemata with the stop, second down and 9.
He's been so disruptive this season, watching Onyemata, the anchor of this defensive line in the interior. The play had no chance.
Second and 9. Young talking to Lewis, the left guard. And Bryce Young rips it this side. It's caught by Tremble, who turns upfield. Tremble breaks away. Tommy Tremble inside the 15. That is a nasty catch and run.
His first and only catch of the game couldn't come at a better time and a bigger moment. You talk to the coaching staff about Tommy Tremble. They just say he flips a switch when he gets on the football field. Primarily used as almost a fullback. In the way they use him in the run blocking game as a tight end off the ball. But this is all just determination. What a play.
It's his 3rd catch in the last 5 weeks. Dowdle on the run. Carolina suddenly all about the Tremble.
Look at this. The stiff arm on Harrison, and that's just tough running. He's doing his best to try to outrun Caden Ellis. If not for Ellis, that's a touchdown.
I mean, that is an irate run. It's a level up.
You can't ask for much more for Bryce Young, who's obviously battling through this ankle injury. Guys have stepped up out around him when he's getting to the most.
Right back to the ground. Dowdle just trying to stay in the middle of the field. A cushy fall down at the 11 to set it up for the local product, Fitzgerald from Colquitt County High School. Very drivable to the home of the Falcons.
This is nothing new for the rookie. He's done it twice before. Most recently versus Green Bay.
They're going to run one more play. Give it to Dowdle again. He'll go straight ahead. And that is when they call on Ryan Fitzgerald. Bijan Robinson has seen this before. Atlanta, a late lead in Berlin against Indianapolis. Couldn't put it away. San Francisco, Miami, New England before. Fitzgerald for the win to draw Carolina within a half game in the division. From 28, and Carolina has won. The officials are talking it over underneath the goalpost, but that went through, and the Panthers win it 30-27. What a moment for Ryan Fitzgerald from down the road a piece. Carolina 30-27, and the Panthers are a half game back in the NFC South.
For the Falcons. Take another look. Clean operation. Solid kick. That's 3 on the season now for Ryan Fitzgerald. The Falcons desperately needed this one to keep their postseason hopes, division hopes, and aspirations alive.
What a game, huh? First time since Carolina had Greg Olsen that they've swept the Atlanta Falcons. For our entire crew, Brady Quinn, Sarah Kustok, Jason Benetti, so long from Atlanta. Carolina a winner after the break. State Farm postgame. Kurt Menefee and the guys in Los Angeles.